Well, thank you so much for helping with my project. Could you say a little bit about yourself?
This is Raghad, and I'm from Jordan. I'm 18, and I am a first year student at mechanical engineering. And I'm curious about your project.
Yeah, I started in 2019 interviewing a different person every single day to kind of get an idea on what they think about us going back to the moon and the future of humanity and that type of thing. But
Okay.
what got you into mechanical engineering?
I'm so interested in robotics, and I do love physics. So like how to combine those two things together as to study mechanical engineering. Like mechanical engineering is like a male-dominated major, but like I'm gonna break that.
Definitely. Um, Whenever you think about robotics, uh, what kind of robots do you particularly like? I mean, like what would you do with what do you want to do with them?
Yeah, like I have maybe like a future vision of, like what I can be in the future. So like I do love rovers, and I do read about rovers and their capabilities. You know, the some rovers have been sent to Mars. And like I'm somehow curious about rovers that are going to be conducted. Like I have seen some rovers, and like in ISC, International Aeronautics Congress. I didn't have the chance to go to Paris, but like some friends have got me pictures about rovers, and like I was reading about them. Yeah, this is so cool.
Well, IAC was in Dubai the year before last. Did you get to go then?
Like no, I didn't go.
I I I almost went, but something else came up. But the only time I went was whenever I went to Guadalajara. I went to see Elon Musk talk about the interplanetary transportation system, now called Starship. So that
Okay.
was kind of exciting. Um,
Okay.
so uh, I guess what's your favorite rover?
Um, like I'm biased because like I'm Jordanian, and like my favorite rover is, like um I'm not impressed by the Jordanian rover, but like it's my favorite because Jordan doesn't have that much capabilities in space, and like I will be somehow biased to Jordanian rover. It is called observatory. Like it doesn't have that much capabilities, but like it's the first step to go to space exploration in a country that doesn't have that such capabilities. It's called observatory, and it's a project that has been conducted by students who were studying engineering in Jordanian universities. Like it has been conducted last year, and they developed it this year, and they will be developing it to they will be building a robotic arm, and some other things that rovers can have. So like I'm not impressed by it, but like it's there in Jordan, and like I will be saying this is my favorite.
I totally understand that. Where is it right now? Where's the rover at the moment?
Oh, okay. So, like I believe it's like in someone's garage because they were the people who were conducting the project. Um they were conducting it in like in someone's garage, I believe in a city called Amman in Jordan. And because like the garage has a fence, and like no one can maybe steal it, or like it is a safe place to work in. So they were conducting that, building the project, building the rover, and like searching on things that rover can have or can do in the garage. So it's in a student's garage, some student's garage, yeah.
That makes sense. Are there plans to launch it and send it someplace off world?
This is a really cool question. You know, like maybe this depends on, the competitions that the students can enroll in because, like we don't have that much funding in Jordan about, space exploration. I believe that you guys and the US, like you have the funding, you have opportunities like to do the things that in your minds, but like in Jordan, like we're going to like research a lot to have the opportunities. I believe like it depends on the opportunities and the opportunities that those participants will enroll in, and the criteria of those competitions, what they will provide to those participants. Yeah.
It is very exciting. It'd be really amazing to see a Jordanian built rover on the moon doing exploration.
Yeah, I do totally agree.
Um, Talking about going to the moon, did you know that there's plans to send astronauts back to the moon?
Yeah, Artemis 1.
Oh, what do you think about that?
Well, this is like again a really cool question. So like I believe like the adrenaline will be in my veins. You know, like I believe it's very exciting. Like I believe, like I will be saying something, like not about my feelings only, but about, like some vision. Maybe it's correct or it's not correct. I don't know. But like you have in the world, you have countries that are developed and you have countries that aren't developed. And by space exploration, I believe those countries which are not developed, like they're going to have a great leap. Like they're going to, they're going to have, I'm sorry.
No worries.
I'm sorry. My little sister, yeah. But like those countries which are not developed, like Jordan, maybe they're going to maybe they're going to conduct centers about research and exploration in space, maybe. Like it will not only be for those, those countries which are developed, but they're going to they're going like it's going to be space for all. And like by conducting these projects, like sending astronauts to moon again, like everyone will be participating in it, I believe.
I hope so. You mentioned that mechanical engineering was a male-dominated field, and that created some barriers and opportunities for you.
Yeah.
Um, so far, between 1969 to 1972, we had 12 men walk on the moon. One of the goals for this first landing on the moon is to have the first woman walk on the moon. I was wondering if that had any special significance to you.
Yeah, like I have read that because, like they're going to have that woman and have the first woman and the first person of color to the moon. And like I believe like what I previously said is that space for all, like space is not for, a specific race or like a specific people and like a specific country, but like space is for all. And like I'm going to be honest with you is that like those people who are interested in the Middle East, they're going to work harder than those people in the US or in like whatever country that is interested about space. But like I believe maybe in the upcoming years, or like upcoming years, like we're going to witness that that availability of opportunities. I do believe that. And like about mechanical engineering, you know like I had some stress, like that, like my family didn't believe that like mechanical engineering is or can be for girls. But like because I have read the scheme of work for mechanical engineering. I have met the dean of mechanical engineering department, and actually, like I have decided, and like I have proudly decided that like I want to go to mechanical engineering, and I really want to like see those girls, like when I graduate or when I study mechanical engineering, I want to see those girls who are curious about mechanical engineering and who are actually taking the decision of going to mechanical engineering, like proudly as I decided. Like I'm going to like I intend to spread that awareness between or like among the Jordanian society about disciplines that the girls may not take because of their gender, but like I believe like girls are capable of doing whatever they want. Yeah, yeah.
I totally agree with you. And I think back to like SpaceX, like the president, I think president or CEO, but Gwen Shotwell, I mean, she was, I believe, a mechanical engineer, did like thermal analysis on satellites, and then now she's leading, SpaceX. So
Uh,
I was wondering if that example comes up at all.
yeah, yeah, it comes. Mechanical engineering is a very, very, very broad discipline. Like, um, it does not have to do with cars. Like I have some colleagues who are actually mechanical engineers and they are not interested in cars. Like when I say mechanical engineering, maybe like almost of people who I'm talking to like will be well, like the cars will be the first impression of mechanical engineering to them. But like after a while, mechanical engineering is a very broad discipline. You're talking about like heat and transfer, transfer of heat. You're talking about like the sensors, and the like when you're reading the schematics of sensors and like electronic modules, you're not only going to know the electronics or electrical things about them, but you're going to know about the mechanical design of them. So mechanical engineering is very attached to every device you are using or you will be using. It's about it's not limited to cars or like the heat transfer or robotics. It's about the forces maybe. Like mechanical engineering does go to physics and like it melts with physics, maybe with chemistry, and like the outcome is very impressive, and like I'm going to see that in my studies.
But I mean, I think you're totally right about being broad. I mean, even things that people don't think of as being mechanical require mechanical engineers to analyze, like the case design for laptops or for
Yeah.
the actual inner workings of printers and the garage door opener, the fountains and pumps, and I mean all these are like mechanical engineering problems. So
Yeah.
you know, you'll you'll have your fingers in so many different projects of so many different things over your
Yeah.
career. How did you convince your family and your friends, that hey, don't limit me. I could do this.
Well, like I had like I had gone and I had attended some robotics courses. And like the EV3 things that Lego that like you're gonna build Legos, and then like you're gonna have the shape of maybe a car, the shape of maybe a building. I had attended some robotics courses, and like I really like the mechanisms of you know uh, it's called maybe four-bore linkage or like some other mechanisms about gears or things that can like can affect force very much. It can make more speed or it can make less speed, and like I really liked the thing this thing very much. And I spoke to my robotics coach, and he said that like only mechanical engineers go depth with this. And like I told you that like mechanical engineering is not limited to maybe gears, like it's very broad. And like I had searched the scheme of work for mechanical engineering plan. um, and my mom and my father, they actually, like, to be honest, they didn't seem to be happy with my decision. But like I brought my mom with me to the dean of mechanical engineering, and he actually convinced her that mechanical engineering is not about cars, because my mom was saying to me that when I graduate, I will be fixing her car. And I didn't, I said that like it's not, like it's not necessary to have only those things when I graduate. Like I will be conducting projects maybe about space rather than going to cars. And when my mom spoke to the dean of mechanical engineering department, he said that like people, like those people who know their path and who know their interests will be very very successful following their interests, rather than like other people decide on what they do. Because like it's like at the end of the day it's my decision, and like I am the only one who's responsible for my decision. But like when I fail or when I succeed, and I believe that after my research, like I will have some relief that like I actually researched before going and deciding that, like 5-year decision. um and my mom did like she was convinced, but like um my father did not. And like I talk to him very very often. And like he's actually proud, rather than like he's actually proud of me, because like because he knows that like I do have effort. Like I do, like it's my effort of researching. And like he's actually convinced that I do not have a step in my life without being researching. So um like it's my first year in mechanical engineering, and I'm actually excited. Like I'm somehow afraid of what will be in the future, but like I will be, um like I will be seeing or witnessing like the upcoming days, and like I will be preparing for them. I'm preparing for them. Yeah.
I I'm sure you'll do well. No doubt you'll have some challenges like everybody does, but it's about you know, keeping at it until you get over them. So,
Yeah.
but you mentioned the future. I was wondering if we could talk maybe about the far future, like 200 years from now. What do you think humanity looks like in 200 years?
Nice. So, like I believe that, um, you know, like with science, especially physics, like everything is going to be easier. And like you can measure your question with the past. Like you can go step back to the past and see like what the last 200 years seem to be. And I believe that upcoming 200 years will be or the developments of those upcoming 200 years will be faster than the previous ones. Because some projects are being conducted using the internet. And the internet is speeding everything. Maybe like it's not from scientific perspective, but like it's my opinion at the end of the day. So like the developments are going to be like very very fast conducting. And I believe that at some point like there will be a lot of, I'm sorry for the noise, but like like at some point there will be very like very very inequality in equity, because some people are going to have access and some people will not have access, at some point. And like when things are going to speed up, um, at some point everyone will have access to those developments, I believe. But like at maybe like at some point, some people, maybe the rich or maybe the people who are working in military or something, they're going to have access to the developments and people will not. But like when upcoming days are gone, everyone will have the access, like the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. The technology gets more and more dispersed. Like,
Yeah.
everybody in the world pretty much has a cell phone at this point, as an example.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Do you think that we'll have people living on the moon and on Mars in 200 years, or do you think that's not enough time?
Okay, so like, have you heard of NASA Space Apps Challenge?
Yeah, I
Like,
have. Yes.
yeah. So, like the idea of this hackathon is space is for all. And if we're going to give the opportunity, or if we're going to give that open source data to the public, it's not necessary to give it to a scientist. It's not necessary to give it, like to those people of science or technology. But if you're going to make that accessed by public, like you will see innovations and you will see impressive innovations, because if and this is there is an example of it. NASA has done, or like has announced a competition in, I believe, 2006 or maybe 2010, and it's about designing it's about designing gloves for the astronauts. And actually, when they saw um, like a design of gloves, and that design was so simple, and they were impressed by it, because they didn't actually, they didn't thought about the simplicity of, like, they didn't go to the level of simplicity of gloves. And maybe if you're a NASA scientist and like you have that standards of like thinking about things, but like if you're having, or if you're giving access to the public, you will be facing some levels of thinking. And those levels, like, it's not, like, it's not about it's not offense, but it's about those levels of thinking that get you to maybe simplicity, or something that works better, something that works simpler. And about going to the moon, like if we're going to witness, it's not about only hackathons, but if we're going to witness some access, or maybe the people are having the opportunity to access things, and the prizes are being announced, or like prizes or no prizes, like I believe like some people, those motivated people are going to participate. And so like if we're going to have those, like that access of information, I believe we're going to the moon faster. And like we're going to raise awareness of like undeserved communities like Jordan, that like space exploration is like, well, will have a great leap and is having a great leap, yeah, and development.
That will be awesome. Would you take a trip to space if you could?
Of course. like I would not hesitate, like it will be my, like I will be having my greatest moments of life.
How far would you go? Just to orbit, to the moon? Would you immigrate to Mars?
To Mars, of course. Like I'm curious about like living in Mars, because like I have seen the Martian movie, and like I have thought that those habitats are the habitats that like we will be living in when going to Mars. But like it seemed that like it's not accessible, or like it's so expensive to live in habitats like these on Mars, those bubbles, if you can imagine them. So you know, like um Mars is is somehow far away from us, but you know, it deserves like those efforts, like they're going to be paid off because you know, like it tells us who we are, like it tells us like maybe the goal of our lives, like those life questions that we have been asking in our childhood. Like those trips to Mars and those projects that deals with space exploration, they're going to tell us a lot about, you know, about our lives, who we are as human species. I will definitely go to Mars if I have the opportunity to go.
I think you may actually in your lifetime. I think so. It may not be quite as theoretical as it sounds right now. You might actually have to make a real decision. Do I want to go or not?
You know, I believe that, you know, like you're asking me indirect question about would you like to be an astronaut? So, you know, like being an astronaut like is not that tough. It's very, very, very tough. And you know, I believe like engineering is my first step, and then I will see like what's going on with my life. So of course, like if programs are being done, like it's not about Jordan or not, but like if programs are being done, and if I if like if I can go to these programs, of course I will definitely go. But you know, like being an astronaut deals with your nationality. So like I'm not a US citizen. So like this makes some, you know, limits for me. So you know, I believe that, you know, like being an innovator or being, you know, an inventor in mechanical engineering like gives me that sense of, will I go and be an astronaut or not? But you know, sticking with the idea of like being an inventor and doing things is so cool. And you know, like I will be watching what the future is holding for me and like next days. Yeah, yeah.
I think that's awesome. Well, it was a pleasure to talk to you and to get your viewpoint. I'm so glad I got to include you in my project. I think
Yeah.
people looking at this 100, 200 years ago uh, will be rewarded to be able to see what the future looked like through your eyes.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'm glad to talk to you. You know, I'm glad to be included in such projects. You know, and I'm always available if any, you know, if any program needs me and needs my volunteering things. Like I'm always available and ready and happy to help.
Well, thank you so much. Well, you have
Yeah,
a good rest of your day, and I look forward to staying in touch online.
yeah, of course.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.